Now's a good time to remember where tequila's story truly began. In 1795, Cuervo invented tequila.
Cuervo.
What are you doing here?
Cuervo. Anytime someone says Cuervo, I show up.
Well, I do know that to be true, but even during ad reads, like...
Cuervo.
I think he could lay out, especially for one of our great partners.
Sweet, delicious Cuervo.
Since then, Cuervo has stayed true to its roots. The same family, the same land, the same passion.
Cuervo.
So, enjoy the tequila that started it all. Cuervo.
Cuervo.
The tequila that invented tequila. Proximo. Cuervo.com. Please drink responsibly.
Cuervo.
Welcome to the Big Suey, presented by DraftKings,
Why are you listening to this show?
the podcast that seems very similar to the other Dan Le Batard podcast.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for that.
In fact, the only difference seems to be this imaging.
I have been tempted in restaurants just walking past tables to grab somebody's fries that if they're just there. That hasn't happened to you guys?
I've done it.
And now, here's the marching man to nowhere, Fat Face, and the habitual liar.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
So I really don't know, even though I am talking to David Samson where and when the time permits, I really don't know how he is doing what he is presently doing, which is a daily show that is 3 times a week now, but is normally daily, as he manages some stuff at home that has been really profoundly difficult, some of the worst pain that I can't imagine much worse pain than what it is that he's presently going through. I assume that he's still working because he's duty bound, he's responsible, and because there are parts of this that he enjoys. He has now shaved his head in solidarity with his daughter and his family. And Zaslow asked me a question. I didn't know how to answer it, even though I've known you for 20 years and I could generally feel pretty confident answering these questions. He's like, can we say who David looks like now? Is that insensitive? Is it insensitive to say who in arts or entertainment David looks like now that he's got this big gray beard and that he's shaven? And I would assume that you'd be okay with that, but he didn't want to be indelicate over something that was, so family personal as you shaving your head to show everyone really that you're in pain with your daughter.
Zaz, go ahead. I don't recognize what I look like, so to me, I don't look like anybody. But if you've got a doppelganger out there that you would like to advance the show with, past Dan's ridiculous takes on Wilt Chamberlain, please feel free.
You don't think Will could hit some threes?
I just think that Dan misled a fraction of the audience into saying that all he did was dunk because he was bigger than everyone else. Wilt Chamberlain had an entire, not only did he have a great mid-range game, and Amin, I don't know where you were here with telling Dan, unless part of the rules are now at Metal Arc that we can't say anything bad to Dan. But that was just an irresponsible statement, Dan.
They threw it to Roy.
Look, Wilt Chamberlain, his game was limited. He was bigger and stronger and more athletic than everyone else. And therefore he would say, what are you looking at me like? I don't know what I'm talking about.
He's a great passer.
He was bigger, like he was somebody for his time who was more athletically gifted in size, strength, and mobility than everyone he was playing against.
You could say that even today.
That's not Jokic.
He's one of the most athletic.
That's not what Jokic is. That's not what I'm watching when I'm watching Jokic. The reason Wilt Chamberlain shot that percentage from the field is because he was playing a whole bunch of people who got stuck in his armpit.
So I understand that you're going to double down on that. But if you go back to what made Wilt Chamberlain fantastic, there was a guy who played for Boston. I mean, I can't think of who he was. I think he wore number 6, but it's escaping me. And
William Russell?
William Russell. That's the guy, I mean, with all the titles that Boston won. So it's not as though that Wilt was able to carry the Lakers to this, as you know, all of these great things. I just took offense to the fact that you would sully Wilt Chamberlain when, in fact, what we witnessed during that season when he was shooting 72%, the things that he was doing, we've never seen since. Jordan, LeBron, Kareem, Jokic, Dokic, none of them.
David, number one, I
Who
found,
do I look like?
Well, I found you unrecognizable when I saw your show on Monday. That's not an insult. It's just I was like, I was shocked. I did not recognize you. But I think you look like Obadiah Stane from Iron Man.
Ooh.
I think you look like Jeff Bridges' character, the main villain in the first Iron Man movie. I think you look just like him.
Well, that's just bald with a beard.
Yeah, that's right. It's a key component.
Let me give you the background just so I'm not hiding anything. The reason for the beard is not because I want to grow hair on my face, because I don't have it on my head. It's that I shave on Sundays, and I had shaved on September the 6th, which is the Sunday going into Monday, September 7th. And then my daughter got sick on September 12th. And the first thing that she did when she regained consciousness was to play with my, what at the time was just sort of a little bit of growth. And every day since then, she plays with my beard all the time. And so I promised I would never shave it, and I will never shave it until I just won't ever shave it for now. And so the hair was because part of treatments is that she is without hair for the most part. And so I wanted it to be, along with her boyfriend and brother-in-law, we wanted to show the beauty of that and take power over that. And now it is a combination where she doesn't spend a lot of time up here. It's still the beard that is the infatuation. So that is the day. And Dan, the reason I do shows is that I want to feel less lonely. I enjoy doing this with you every week. I enjoy interacting with the audience. Unfortunately, my day today is that I have to do something with Pablo that I really don't want to do, but I feel totally obligated to. And I could blow it off, but I don't want to do it to our partner, Pablo, who's releasing shows and investigating stuff and being investigated. So I have to do something that takes time away from my daughter with him today, Dan.
So if I may, for the audience, if you want to support the things that David is doing, he's got an unusual connection with his audience, and he does feel duty-bound to that audience to do an entertaining show every day that he's still working on, even though it's obviously something that hurts to let the priorities down on, as he must. A difficult question for you that I've not asked you personally or privately. Where are you with the differences in how it is you're experiencing love these days? And what has been changed about you over the last 2 months of nightmare as you've confronted a life turned upside down with something you could not have imagined in your worst nightmares as being this kind of life-altering?
Definitely could never have imagined the situation. And I would say where I am with love, and it's something that I think about, obviously, because you'd think that your reaction would be that you want to take advantage of every minute, that you want to remember every moment, and that you go back with some regret over decisions that you've made over time you didn't spend with your daughter when you could have. And the struggle I'm having is that I don't know that I would have done anything differently because I only had the information I had at the time. And I never would have expected there to be this sort of issue that exists, that costs time. Because as you know, my relationship with time is far more complicated than my relationship with love. But right now, the family, and we're very much hunkered down. And the problem is that there is no time to show enough grace to each other. There is no time to show enough love to each other because it is basically every day dealing with something. Does this help her get better? That's the question. Does this help give her a moment of being happier? That's the question. Not how do I show more love to myself or to others. None of us are taking care of ourselves the way we should because we're focused on taking care of her because that's all that matters. And the question you have to ask yourself is that balance is a difficult one because it is having a tremendously negative impact on everyone in the family. And I could almost argue, and people are going to misunderstand this, there's an argument to be made that the impact on everyone else is as significant as the impact on her. And there's a bunch of factors that I don't want to talk about that make that a true statement that may not sound true to you. But these are issues that come up, including until 1 a.m. last night during a family meeting. While there is a show the next day at 7 a.m. live, I had to be someplace, so I had to get on my bike and go to a house at 10:30 at night for several hours, and my phone goes off, and that's not a fine because it's on silent except for family who text from time to time about treatments and stuff. So it's all a mess, Dan, and I don't want to waste your audience's time, and I'm not looking for anything other than the love that you guys have given me, and I appreciate that.
David, how do you make sure if it's okay for me to ask, how do you make sure that she doesn't see how it's affecting you? Because I'm sure you don't want her to have to think about that.
That is the best question, and no one's asked that. And there's a lot of whispering that goes on. There's a lot of going to the other room. There's a lot of things that happen after she goes to sleep. So you're right. You can't show any of that. You have to be a united front. You have to be cheery and upbeat all the time when you feel like not being that any of the time. And so it is a lot of acting. It's a lot of pretending. And the dichotomy of how you feel versus how you want to look is so different that you end up having to use the other people in the room as your bellwether. Hey, how do I look now? Because when you're crying, you can't stay in the room with her because you want her to see you crying. And so we have a place where she is, where we go and cry out of sight. It's really something, Zaz, but you're right. You don't want to ever show any of that to her.
I'm going to try to move on to some of the other stuff here in a second, including playing some video that will lighten this up of David on a bicycle that I was sent yesterday that must have been a mortifying situation to him because it looked like he was running through the city of New York with a stolen bicycle. But before we play that particular video, just one more thing for people who have sort of witnessed your journey over 20 years with this show. There was a time that you walked out of a funeral many, many years ago where you felt something and you felt like you had almost cried and you felt a human emotion that was a bit rare to you. It had reached you in a place where you allowed yourself to be vulnerable. How much has that stuff changed in the last 2 months because some part of this has allowed you to be broken open and really, really realize that you have been a dutiful father and you have had love inside you that might come with regret and guilt right now, but you know how hard you love. Like you're under no confusion about that right now.
No, I'm not afraid to or ashamed to go full Rosie Greer. I've cried every day since September 12th at some point. There isn't a day that goes by where it's not in my head. There's no escaping from it. As I sit here with you, there's no escape. Even doing nothing personal, there's no escape. So I can't find the escape. I don't know if it'll ever happen. I don't know. What therapists have been helpful with is trying to navigate the unnavigable. And the problem is that that road can't start right now because we're in such acute emergency situation that the only thing that matters is what we're doing in terms of care. So the answer is every day is a struggle in a way that is hard to talk about. And the video you're going to show is a perfect example. And I don't know how you got the video, actually, is a perfect example. I think it could have been Bimal that I recorded a show that just came out last night with Pablo. That show was recorded yesterday. And I was in between a treatment and in between a therapy session. And I had to get to your studio to record in a certain time frame. And so the only way to do it was on a bicycle. And that is true. That happened yesterday.
This time of year, it's a lot. Lights, noise, pumpkin spice, it's everywhere. But one feeling that we are all still chasing is coziness. And Bombas has the socks, slippers, and tees, basically everything to get you there. There's something oddly therapeutic about a fresh pair of socks, and Bombas knows that feeling and builds it into everything they make. Slippers you can melt into, tees that feel just right, comfort that holds up, wash after wash. And gifting, Bombas makes that easy too. Your wife, your kid's girlfriend, your neighbor's newborn, your mom's new friend. Yeah, they got socks for them all. They're even stepping up the footwear game. New colors, new styles, fluffy things, suede things. If you got feet, they've got something for you. And the best part, every pair you buy, Bombas donates one to someone experiencing homelessness. Cozy for you, cozy for someone else. I wear Bombas.
I got myself 3 pairs of underwear from Bombas, and they don't ride up, they don't bunch, they are very comfortable, very soft, and enjoyable to wear.
It's cozy season. It's Bombas season. Head over to bombas.com/Dan and use code DAN for 20% off your first purchase. That's bombas.com/DAN and use code DAN at checkout.
What does Zyn give you? Not just smoke-free nicotine satisfaction, but real freedom. Freedom to do what you love and choose your rewards. With Sin Rewards, you can redeem points for premium tech, outdoor gear, and gift cards to your favorite retailers. Find your Sin and keep finding rewards that fit your lifestyle at sin.com/rewards. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
When I think about the holidays, I think about the little moments with my dog, Roma. The ones that make the season feel special. Put little elf ears on her. You know the deal. Take some selfies, post it for people that probably seen it too much. I love my dog. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's why I'm joining Chewy Claus, who's out here making pets' wishes come true. From November 4th through December 24th, you can share your pet's wish at chewy.com/ChewyClaus. It might come true. And it helps others too. Every wish triggers a donation of 5 meals to shelters and rescues across the country. And if you share your pet's wish through the Chewy app, they'll double that donation. That's 10 meals for pets in need, just for participating. I've been using Chewy for years, legitimately. They've made my life easier for me and my dog Roma. Food, toys, meds, all of it shows up fast, no stress. And being part of something like Chewy Claus, where a small thing like a wish can make a real impact, that's the kind of stuff I care about. Every pet deserves a wish come true. Send your pet's wish to chewy.com/ChewyClaus. It might become a reality. Plus, your wish means Chewy will donate 5 meals to pets in need.
Dan Batard.
Tatas.
Stugotz.
Tatas.
This is the Dan Batard Show with the Stugotz.
All right, so they're downloading it now. Pete Carroll has gotten in everyone's way in the video room, and something that would have been available moments ago is now being overmanaged and micromanaged because Pete Carroll has decided to go into the other room and block the video from being played because he's making some sort of editorial judgment in tone and content.
Dan, he's got to learn everybody's job top to bottom. That's why he's the CEO of the company and for the Oakland Raiders. Like, he's the guy making sure, hey, guys in the video room, I know what you're doing. I need to see what's going on over there. He's doing what he's got to do over here. I applaud.
All right, Mike, let me know when it is that we have the video that we're playing for the audience to have perfect comedic timing of a stolen bicycle. But how mortified were you? Because you looked pretty miserable in the video. You looked like, because the alarm was going off on a rental bike. It was a rental bike, and the alarm was going. He couldn't take a step because all of a sudden the bike is hovering above the ground, and the rented bike needs to always be on New York pavement.
So let me explain. When you take a rental bike, you have to park it. And I had to this happened. This is me going from shooting the sporting class to the hospital, and I needed to be on a bike. And so I had a bike to the studio to arrive for shooting time, but I couldn't find a parking spot. So I had to take the bike into the studio and then take the bike out of the studio. But during the filming of the show, the bike went dead and the alarm went off as though I had stolen it. And when the electric bikes alarm goes off, they can't be moved, and they're super heavy. So I was schwitzing, trying to move the bike, knowing I had to get rid of that bike to get a new bike to get to the hospital at the right time in order to get to the next appointment. And I was in full panic mode. And Bimal, God bless him, his CEO, his first thought was, a la Pablo, this looks like content. Let me tape it. So I'm trying to get the bike in the elevator. I can't lift it, and he can't help me because he's too busy videoing.
Let me hear the
That's
sound.
what happened.
Play the sound here real quick so people can hear our guy Bimal harassing David Samson with a stolen bicycle.
Since this happened, you were stealing his city bike. I was going to be late to sporting class. And so I couldn't be late, and I couldn't find a parking spot, so I brought it to the studio, and now they think I'm stealing it.
David Sampson's life right now is it's an emotional Iditarod. He is just running from place to place with sled dogs that are exhausted. Regardless, David, Mike, please stop hassling the people in the other room. You're getting in the way of the show. Like, stop doing that. You're chewing gum and distracting the entirety of the show with your punishment.
Danny kind of looks like Hancock in that video. Yeah. He's got the beanie and the glasses.
You do look pretty good, David. You do look like you've got your stuff together. Let's get to some sports stuff here because the sporting class is where it is that David Samson, John Skipper, and Pablo do the sports business stuff better than anywhere else I've heard. David does a lot of good sports business stuff on Nothing Personal. But also, I would imagine that you have been better on this baseball gambling scandal than most people because I've been confused that, A, the basketball gambling scandal seems to be something that's getting a lot more attention, coverage, and interest when the baseball scandal means one of the best closers in baseball is probably never going to throw a major league pitch again. And that seems to me to be it should be a bigger story. It's a pretty big story, but it should be a bigger story given what that guy's career trajectory was.
Well, I think it's a pretty amazing story that it took 3 days for MLB and the sports books to get together and change the rules and basically curtail certain prop bets and limit the maximum amount you can bet to $200 on what, let's say, in-game next pitch velocity, et cetera, the things that can really cut to the integrity in a way that is touchable, palpable. And I want to give credit to DraftKings. We're obviously a DraftKings network. We are a DraftKings show. But it's not easy when you are approached by a league with an existential crisis and your view can be the Heisman, which is, hey, that's your fault. That's your problem. You can deal with it. Instead, they got together and said, we can find a way to make sure that all the customers, because that's what matters is customers, that they realize that we're all interested in the integrity of the moment and of the game. And therefore, we're going to be willing to throw money away, not take the amount of money that we could in order to give the appearance of more and more credibility. And it all happened super fast. And that's the thing to do when you're in the news and it's bad. Do something good and do it fast. And then there'll be the next story that people will focus on. And that's what MLB did along with the books.
Walk me through this part of it, right? Because one of the things that has always been a deterrent in recent years to the biggest and best players in sports being contaminated by corruption is they make too much money. Can you explain to the people, given how good Emmanuel Clase was going to be, over what is being reported as about $400,000 for just about everyone involved, how much money did he just cost himself as someone unlikely to ever throw a major league pitch again?
Yeah, I think that what people are missing is that rich people want to be richer. And players in that category, they like a lot of free stuff. Rich people like free stuff. If you go to anybody who's rich and say, hey, I'll give you an extra $5,000, you might say, wow, I won't bend over for $5,000. But guess what? Rich people do. They'll take the $5,000. And so it doesn't matter. Clase was not thinking to himself, hey, I got a chance to make $20 million. I'm going to turn down $5,000. That was not his thought process.
But answer my question. How much in career earnings did that closer with that arm at that age cost himself?
Let's conservatively say $25 million. Conservatively.
A year?
What's your point?
A year?
No. That's about what he would make. That's about where he would make. Let's say, now, could he be one of the relievers who could do it for 10 more years? I'm just saying average. Just say $25 million, which would be an amazing amount of career earnings. But what people have been saying, and I don't think you're one of them, unless you're doing it right now, is how could he be so stupid and short-sighted to take $5,000 to throw a ball as a ball and sacrifice the possibility of the $25 million. And what I'm telling you is players, people, they don't think that way. The person who robs the bank is not thinking about getting caught. He's thinking about what he's doing with the money.
I don't know how the bank robber thinks, but you tell me, Amin, what you think of this. You think Terry Rozier right now is considering how dumb it was to count $100,000 in cash and risk all of his career earnings?
Like the bank robber, I mean, is not usually wealthy.
I think the big thing is people believing it's something I can't get caught. So in the case of the pitchers, it's like it's the first pitch. I'm still going to strike the guy out or get him out. No one's going to notice. No one's going to read up on that pattern. This kind of high profile case, reveals to all pitchers now, they know. They can tell, right? In the Terry Rozier case, I think there's a difference between, I don't know. I feel like a lot of times it's not necessarily, hey, I can make money on this. Like, I'll help my boys out, and I don't have to pay for it. That's the only thing I can think of if indeed he is guilty
I can
of
see
doing
that
this.
being.
Well, no, but that's probably the case in all the cases, isn't it?
I don't know about those pictures.
It's when you read some of the details, that seems to be what's happening there, is it not, David?
Yeah, no, it's not uncommon what you're saying, Amin, where you think that players, and this happens in all sports, you see it in basketball and baseball, of course, you have no idea how big the payroll is for some of these players, how many people they're actually supporting. And this happens not just with Dominican players, but especially with Dominican players where their families just don't have money. I'm not talking about second generation like the Guerreros or the Tatises, but it is very, very common that player is looked at not just to support his family in the Dominican, but his family's family, his friends' family. And you see a lot of destruction and jealousy and anger that comes when people do not get money that they're expecting to get. It is a whole big Megillah. And so that is pressure that is on players that we would say, oh, my God, they're independently rich. But in fact, they're not as rich as you think because their expenses are so much higher than you realize.
I legitimately did not realize until right now. Wow, what an unbelievable oversight by me. So the most desperate situation I feel like I've ever been in publicly involves Sammy Sosa's home run. He finished second. He goes back to hurricane-ravaged Dominican, and people are literally trying to climb over the walls of his palace to get milk. Like, there is just legitimate hunger outside. And I did not realize until this very moment that, of course, what happened to those two guys is they were that Ortiz and Clase had no idea that they were going to be throwing away their entire careers because they threw one pitch for a guy back home so that he can make some money on some inside information that he had. There's no way they had any earthly idea what the consequences of that were.
That's certainly where my head is, Dan, and I see it all the time. And we see it mostly in the Dominican, not with gambling. You see it with steroids. So many of the players in the Dominican are doing steroids, and when they get caught, their view is, hey, listen, it was worth the shot. I thought that I could mask it, but if I do these steroids or if I lie about my age, I have a chance to get a larger signing bonus. I have a chance for my family to have an actual floor or an actual roof. The pressure on the players in the Dominican should not be undersold.
Give them a water break. Water break.
Nothing Personal is the name of the podcast, and he is back to watching some movies occasionally, trying to get back to some semblance of normal life around what he is doing. Before we get to whatever it is that you're reviewing, Amin, have you seen Being Eddie on Netflix, the Eddie Murphy documentary?
Not yet. It just came out this week. I've been watching a lot of basketball.
I will tell you just one story without spoiling it that was great. Jesse Jackson saw the barbershop scene in Coming to America where Eddie Murphy is playing all of the characters, including an old Jewish white guy. And Jesse Jackson goes to Eddie Murphy and says, all those guys are going to be stars. I feel like all of those guys are going to be stars in the movie.
Where's the spoon?
Folks, the leaves are turning. The weather's getting a little chillier. That means the football games are more important. That means football time should be Miller time. Game day hits different with a Miller Lite in your hand. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to fantasy heartbreaks, my fantasy season's over already, but you know what makes that better? Miller time! It's the beer that's been there for every moment. 50 years of great taste, simple ingredients, and that iconic golden color you can spot from across the room. And here's the kicker, it's just 96 calories, 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. The original light beer since 1975 and still hitting different 5 decades later. So whatever your game day looks like, remember Miller time is always a good time. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
On Fox One, you can stream your favorite live sports so you're there for the biggest moments as they happen. For me, I cannot deal with spoilers, so I need to see it live, especially on college football Saturdays and NFL Sundays. With Fox One, you get it all. NASCAR, the MLB postseason, edge of your seat plays, jaw-dropping moments, and that rush like you're right there in the action. Sports are meant to be watched live, and you can do that with Fox One. Fox One, we live for live, streaming now.
Folks, fuel your game day with the unbeatable crunch of Hampton Farms, the official peanut of bowl season. Perfect for sharing with friends, tailgating outside the stadium, or cheering from the couch. Grab a bag from the produce aisle of your local grocery store and savor the game one peanut at a time. Let's get nutty.
Don Le Batard.
Yeah, it's not my favorite rejoin.
Context needs to be applied.
Going for a joke, and
I thought that context was applied.
We'd like to rip that out of context. I was going for a thing, and I have a family.
You're gonna pretend here that you don't love Matthew Tkachuk more than you love anybody you've ever loved.
I don't love Matthew Tkachuk more than my daughter.
Stugotz.
Now it's pretty damn close.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
What are you reviewing for us this week, David?
I hope someone in the room has seen House of Dynamite.
Nobody. Not anybody.
Are you kidding me?
Audible.
House of Wax?
Okay. Forget it.
Check
Move
out the
on.
line.
No, but
The
tell us.
purpose of this review would be to have a conversation. I can review a movie no one's seen on Nothing Personal on Netflix, directed by Academy Award winner Catherine Bigelow, about what a government does when there is the day after tomorrow, that's an old reference, but for the younger people in the audience, that was a show about a nuclear war with Jason Robards, where people thought there was an actual nuclear war. This movie, House of Dynamite, is about what goes on when there is a threat, the possibility that there could be a first strike done by our enemies, and what we would do, how we would react, what are the chains of command. House of Dynamite does it from every angle, from different parts of government, and then it builds to an end, where the end is Wait, I can't say the end.
It's the end of the
don't spoil it, Dave.
It's the end of the chair company.
And boom goes the dynamite.
No spoilers.
So no spoilers, Mike.
spoilers.
Thank you. So if you watch to the end, people are very concerned with the end of this movie, and they're losing what the movie was about. And the movie was about an examination of what perilous ground we stand on as it relates to nuclear proliferation, and what could happen any day with leaders who are irrational or leaders who don't understand what it means to be in a world order. And so this movie took a chance, and it's being criticized because of an end, and nobody's discussing the entire first hour 40, and that's what I would prefer people to focus on.
So Bigelow made award-worthy art, and the conversation gets hijacked afterward that ignores the art and just becomes whatever the controversy of the day could be at the end of the movie.
And that's a very telling thing that's happening, where we are forgetting the forest and we are so focused on an individual tree and its sapling that it's making me insane, actually.
David Samson is a noted bicycle thief. He has nothing personal. You keep playing that sound whether Mike's ready to talk or not. Like you guys are not talking. Yeah. No, I know.
A lot of errant whistles in the crowd, Dan.
Look.
He stole a bike.
Chris.
That doesn't call for a whistle?
Stop, thief! Chris, I know. You don't need to give me your breakdancing move of I know what you're doing with the whistle, but Mike not hearing the whistle or reacting to the whistle just makes it something that's actively distracting to me as I'm trying to do a live show. What was that?
You opening a code?
What was that?
Camera.
What was that?
More dancing.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to do a live program here.
Ooh, look at those shoulders, Dan.
That a lot of people are watching. That is not helpful. Pete Carroll is an active distraction. The punishment is only mine. David, nothing personal. Support the things that David is doing. He is being very willful about doing them right now. Thank you, sir. Much love.
Thank you.
Before I update Doug Christie's latest press conference, I can't believe that I get to do Amin Finds Out.
Oh, nipples.
I've got Amin Finds Out because Amin came in here today wanting to report something and wanting to get into the Pablo Torre Finds Out game where he is revealing to the audience something it did not know in a way that delights and enlightens the audience.
So then, iPhone users might have experienced this thing.
I haven't.
He's too distracted, okay?
I am.
Chris, no, but it's not just you that's distracted. It's not just me that's distracted. Chris has imaging for Amin finds out. He can't do it because he's too busy with those damn whistles. Like he doesn't have the imaging ready because he's doing a different show, the show that him and Mike want to do, that's now hijacked the video room too.
All right, let's pull him. Roy? Roy? Take over.
He's going to the backup.
Yeah, we're pulling you.
Wow. Oh, hey, look at him go.
Help the listener, please. Help the customer.
So if you were an iPhone user and you've recognized recently, oh man, I feel like I'm misspelling a lot. I know I'm typing. It's like I'm making all these typing mistakes. How is this possible? Right? Is there something wrong with me? You're not alone. This is happening to a lot of people, myself included. And the reason is there's a problem with the new iOS. I watched a video of a guy who slowed it down. You're typing the right letters, and it's entering the wrong letters. So
No way.
I'm dead serious, dude. You see the H get toggled, and instead of H, it'll be U. Like
It has to do with A and S for me.
Right, AS. Like it is actively playing defense against you. This is a big problem. I don't know why the iPhones are doing this, but I literally thought, I swear to God, I thought I was having some neurological disorder. And like, man, this is me getting older now. I can't type. I thought I'm typing the right thing, but I'm looking at the words. It's gibberish. Turns out, no, it's not you. It's the damn phone.
That is Amin finding out. I don't think you can do funnier than alleging against yourself a neurological disorder while stumbling on the neurological. It is.
I might still be true.
It is part of the aging process. You are feeling, this is unusual to say, and I hope that you can find for me, Roy, the sound and the video that I was trying to get from Chris back when he cared about doing his job instead of whatever the hell he's been doing for the last 45 minutes. There is some Charles Barkley video and sound that I was going to go to that puts Amin in a position I have not heard before, as I'm hearing Charles Barkley in a position not a whole lot of people in the media are taking right now. Charles Barkley, as he often does, is saying something here that I'm not hearing a whole lot of other people saying about Nico Harrison and the Dallas situation.
Because the Mavs were a mediocre team until he made those trades. He was doing a good job. Then he had the bad luck with Anthony Davis never being available, basically. But the thing that bothers me is he's just being made a scapegoat. Listen, Shaq knows this, Kenny knows this. There's no way in the world Nico Harrison had the power to trade Luka Doncic unless the owner of the team signed
Patrick
off.
Dumont.
Yes, that was his call. So I feel bad the way Nico is being made a scapegoat, but anybody who knows anything about basketball know good and well Nico Harrison did not have enough power to trade Luka Doncic. So that's the thing that bothers me. He's had a streak of bad luck with Anthony Davis and Kyrie both getting hurt. But the premise of this trade is Nico Harrison. I hear all these fools and idiots on TV talk. Nico Harrison going to be the guy who traded Luka Doncic. No. The Dallas Maverick organization made that call.
Chuck is too skinny.
Oh, it's an odd look, man.
Se ve malito.
He's got like Aaron Rodgers vibes for me. It just looks off. You look at him, something looks off.
I think he looks great. I don't know what you're talking about.
I agree. He looks great.
I think you look like you drink sodas.
His suits are blousy.
Blousy?
Yeah, the shoulders are big on the suit. Shoulders are really big.
Dan, there's a level of like mortality that I feel looking at that, right? It's not just the clothes, the ill-fitting clothes. The face looks a little gaunt. The neck right here, little loose skin.
Oh, the
and
skin.
It's like some of my people say,
that's a great point by him. The skin.
You know, maybe it's because he's on the not Ozempic, but whatever the weight loss thing that he's doing.
GLP-1s.
Yeah, it just, to me, I'm seeing this a lot with a lot of people I know around the NBA, former players, retired players who looked a certain way in retirement, and then you don't see him for a little bit, and you see him again, and like, oh no, that's the sign of someone getting older. Not older like, oh, my back hurts, whatever, like, but older like we're entering that next stage where I got to worry every time I open my phone up to see a graphic or something.
Well, loose skin tends to happen when you were once big and then you get small. So that kind of happens there. It's not his fault.
That's a good point.
I don't see a lot of people talk. It is his fault because, like, it is Chuck's fault. Yes, he got heavy and then he lost the weight, and so he got. I mean, whose fault else? He's the one governing what food goes into his mouth. Like, it's
Lean on your experience.
I am. I'm speaking as an authority here. I don't need your help with that. I'm doing
We've
fine.
been here before.
Coach, I don't need your help here. I got this. This isn't like before in the game when you asked me to just throw the ball to Roy out of nowhere.
Dan, your face looks a little more full, though. I think you don't have the experience.
Look, this is a strange thing that's happening with Charles Barkley. In that, you guys are telling me you're feeling. I don't agree with you necessarily here, even as I say he's too skinny. You're telling me you feel like he looks healthier, heavier.
Just looks off right now. Yeah. I can't explain it.
You're telling me that him skinny looks to you more mortal than him heavy. That's what you're saying.
I honestly think it's the suits. If he got like a fitted suit, I think it would be night and day.
So go to a tailor.
I'm sure he did though, right? Like, would Chuck not do that?
No, it's probably those old suits, man. That's probably like he's just grabbing the ones from the closet and putting them on. Or maybe it's laundry day. I don't know. Either way, like there's a part of me.
Something's off.
You're off base, man. He looks terrific. I don't know what you're talking about.
What do you know?
He looks I know things.
You don't know.
I know things. Smart.
I mean, I think you're having a take that not a lot of other people are having. I think most people think that Charles looks great. When I say that he's too skinny, even as somebody who, like him, has fought his weight all his life, I'm saying it because it doesn't have the things he's saying don't have the same oomph when he says them as a lighter person. When he's thicker, this is the comedy is better and the points land harder. And in this case, he's giving voice to something. Who's feeling bad for Nico?
So, ironically, a lot of former players, like what we've interviewed over the last few days.
You got 2 minutes here.
They kind of echo these things like, well, it wasn't just Nico, it was the organization. You got to understand, obviously, that Barkley has a relationship with Nico from Nico's Nike days. As do a lot of guys.
So he's on the take.
Not on the take, but just a little bit more sympathetic. But guys keep repeating this, it's the organization. But it's like, it was Nico's idea.
Yeah.
And the owner employs you to be an expert.
Yeah, the owner's not a basketball guy. You're the basketball
It's like if I go to my doctor and my doctor says, hey, you should take this medicine, and then it has disastrous results.
Oh, but you allowed him to give you the medicine.
Yeah,
right?
like no one would say, it's my fault for taking the medicine. It's my doctor who's the expert's fault for telling me.
Why are we doing another press conference?
You're on, Coach.
All right. Started slow. Kind of sad a little bit. Dug ourselves out of it. Whistles killed us. Whistles were, they were just really bad. Too many whistles. Made the right call. Pulled the young guy. I still have faith. He's our quarterback. 100%. He's still our quarterback. But Roy did give us a spark. And we settled in. We're able to come back in that one. Most important thing is, just secure the W. We'll look at the film. We'll reevaluate. We'll get out of the building alive.
You've aged.
It's a hard profession. Any other questions?
What did you think of the idea of somebody distracting people with bit while they were trying to talk seriously about mortality?
I mean, it's a trick play, no doubt. Want to keep the defense off balance.
Amin was palpably and obviously distracted while trying to talk about serious subject matter because you were in his ear chewing gum and I think shaking ice.
Sorry, where's the question here?
I'm downer Dan.
No one's down over here in this room. All right? No one's down. We're building a program. We're in year 2. All right? What's up, Trevor? Now's a good time to remember where tequila's story truly began. In 1795, Cuervo invented tequila.
Cuervo.
What are you doing here?
Cuervo. Anytime someone says Cuervo, I show up.
Well, I do know that to be true, but even during ad reads, like...
Cuervo.
I think he could lay out, especially for one of our great partners.
Sweet, delicious Cuervo.
Since then, Cuervo has stayed true to its roots. The same family, the same land, the same passion.
Cuervo.
So, enjoy the tequila that started it all. Cuervo.
Cuervo.
The tequila that invented tequila. Proximo. Cuervo.com. Please drink responsibly.
Cuervo.